Hi and welcome to another training video, and in this training video itself we will be learning how to create an intelligent dining table that is able to expand and increase the number of chairs according to the size of the table. So this image that you see on the screen is we have these very simple design tables and chairs, and what is good about this family is that it's going to be able to stretch, and you can see Revit automatically places more chairs as I stretch it to be longer. So that is the intelligent portion of this family that we're creating. And not only are we able to create more chairs as the length goes longer, we are also able to change the chairs that we use in this family as well. So if I go click on this table, edit type, you can see at the bottom, training chair 2A. Let's say if I have another chair available for the user, I can just swap it out, press the OK button. You can see now they're kind of like a stool, not a chair anymore, but basically you can add many different designs for that particular table with all the chairs surrounding it. So we'll go ahead, and before we go ahead, I just want to show you an image of what's going to happen in terms of family management. So our table that we're creating is can be known as training table 2A, and we're going to create the table as the central or the host of all the elements. So the chair, regardless of whether you have chair number 1, 2, or 3, or more than 3 chairs, is also possible. But for this exercise, we'll be creating just 2 chairs and then loading them into the table family, which will then be brought into the project environment. So the first step we're going to do is to create chair number 1. And we're going to do it very quickly because the shapes are relatively easy, and if you do not know how to create a chair or table by now, you should go to the other videos, not this one. This one is where we learn more advanced topics, where we combine or load more components into another components that can be brought over to the project environment. So without further ado, we're just going to create chair 1 very quickly. New, family, matrix generic model. Okay, I'm just going to create 2 reference plane here and here. Do the dimension, press EQ, create more reference plane, horizontal ones. So this will be the length of the chair. Okay, and this will represent the width of the chair. I'm just going to set it to about, let me see, 550 and 600, 500 and 600. Okay, so this is the shape of my chair. Create extrusion, rectangular, lock all 4 sides. Press the green tick. Go to the front elevation, reference plane, and I'm just going to create probably 2 reference plane. This is for the seat height, and this is for the height of the chair. Okay, and then the seat height will be here. Okay, I'm going to keep this as 50 for the seat, 5 cm. I'll lock it here. So that's the seat itself. I'm going to change a few dimensions. I'm going to change it to maybe just 500, and this should be 1150. Okay, and I'm going to create the legs next under the reference level. So this is going to be a very quick simple model of a chair, because we are not demonstrating how geometrically complicated our objects or family will be. We just want to make sure that it's functionally intelligent. Going to mirror this on the other side, and after you mirror, always remember to check that the things are aligned or locked, because they are not always true. If you happen to be able to lock the object again, it means that it wasn't locked in the first place. Okay, so that should, let me see, that should do it. Here, here. Okay. Okay, so that's the legs of the table. Go to the front elevation, align it to the bottom of the seat. Make sure to align the legs as well to the bottom. And now I'm going to create the backrest of this chair itself, or from the left elevation. So this is the left elevation, not the front elevation. Please do not get confused. And I'm just going to create a very simple chair, just slightly curved, and the top will be straight about 40. So I'm just going to create 40 here, and I'll join them together. So something like that will be okay. Just lock this to the top and lock this to the dimension below. Press the green tick. So that is the chair that we have. And go to the reference level, make sure that it's aligned to both sides. So always remember to align even this side, even though it starts here, it's not locked yet. So make sure to lock it on both sides. So you can save this family as let me see the name for you, training table 2A. Sorry, training chair 2A. So you can save this as training chair 2A. Okay, go ahead and press the save button. Okay, and the next thing is just to make it a stool, I want you to delete the backrest and do a save as family training chair 2B. So at this point in time, the one without a backrest is 2B and the one with backrest will be 2A. So make sure you have 2 chairs right now. Okay, 2 files, basically 2 separate files. So go ahead and press save. The next thing we're going to create is the table family. So we need a new family generic model. Okay, we're going to create the reference plane of the family first. So, okay. When you do an EQ, remember not to lock them. Okay, just click on EQ and let them, don't click on anything else. So this will be the length, and this will be the width of the table. So I need to turn off some programs first. Okay, and I'm just going to change the length to maybe 2000 and the width to be about 900. Just wait a minute, I have one extra line here. Okay, so roughly this will be the default size of my table. I can start to create the extrusion. Lock all 4 sides. Remember to lock them, otherwise your table will not be able to adjust in the size. And now, wait a minute, I'll go to front elevation, create a reference plane, and so this will be the height of the table, and this will be the thickness of the table. Thickness and height. So height I'll just put it 900, thickness I'll just put it as 50. I'll bring the thickness parameter down and the height down. Okay, so normally you put the more important parameters at the top, the more frequently used parameters at the top. Okay, then this will be the table top, and next I'll go to reference level and create the legs of the table. Okay, that's very similar to chair. They're just different in size. So I'll probably keep this at about, let me see, 40 will be fine. 40 will be fine, or maybe 60. Okay, so I'll keep this as align it first. Do the dimension from the reference line if there's a reference line. So remember that. Lock them, lock 60, and I'm going to put it on the other side. And this is lock, this is lock. Okay. Okay, this is so mirror to the other side. And let's drag a bit lower here. Okay, here, lock as well. Okay, this is good. Here is not lock. Probably here is not lock as well. Okay, so we're done with the legs. I need to go to the front elevation and make sure they're aligned to the bottom of the table reference plane. And make sure it aligns to the floor as well. So, before we proceed, I need you to go to your training chair 2A. So open up your training chair 2A at this point in time. Okay, I might need to go, let me see here. Training, training chair. Open up your training chair 2A. And I want you to load the chair, training chair 2A, and into the table. So my table is currently known as family 2. Yours might be different. But make sure you just load into the file, the table file that you're working on right now. Now I want you to place a copy at one side here first. So we'll start to, in case you forgot how to, or you accidentally press a different button, and then you would miss the chance to place a chair, you can go under the Create tab, click on Component, and then you can actually place more chairs on your family, or the family itself. The other method is to just go to Families, Generic Models, Training Chair 2A, and then just drag Training Chair 2A inside. You should be able to place the families inside as well using this method. And we just need one chair first, and how I rotate the chair is to press spacebar. So I have one chair. We'll focus on the chair along the width, itself before we move on to the length. Okay, so once you brought in one chair, I need you to create actually more parameters. So I'm going to move this a bit further. I need to create more reference plane first before we start creating parameters. So I'll just keep this as about 100 on both sides of the table, and then another 100. Let me just extend the lines because they are too short actually. Okay, here it's a little hard to click the exact line. Okay, so I just want to make the lines longer because This was too small initially. So both sides are offset by 100, and I want to offset this by 100 as well. Okay, and I'm going to create the dimension, which will later be turned into a parameter. Okay, so you should only have 4 dimensions because you don't have the dimension this side because they are still the same lines. So these 4 dimensions should be sufficient, and I'm going to name this offset, and all these will be offset as well. Okay, and before we end this video and start part 2, I just want you to align your current chair to the center. So when you do this alignment, okay, you may not be able to see the center of the chair, but actually when you move your mouse roughly in the center, you will see a reference plane. Okay, so when you bring an object in, if this object, I'm just going to open this file first. Okay, this training chair, you will see that the chair is made up of all this green reference plane, and when you bring this family into another file, you can always still use the reference plane for alignment, for moving, and as such, although they will be invisible, but they are still usable as long as you use the align command or the move command. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my table family, this one here. Okay, so I'm going to align to the center of the chair, lock it, and to the offset, and lock it. So very quickly go and do another one for the opposite direction. Align to the center, lock it, align to the offset, and lock it. So I'll see you in the next video to follow up the remaining portion of this training table 2A. So see you later.